It's a pretty lengthy speech at the end of training. Do you want to give us maybe an insight into what Marco had to say?
No, it was just about the training. We just really spoke about what we did today in trainings and what we don't want to do on Saturday against New York Red Bulls. So it was not really anything special. Just some words about the game. That's it.
You want to give us a bit of an insight maybe into your first start of the season? You had a substitute Kendall before that, but this is your first time, navigating the full game.
Yeah, it was really nice. I was really happy about the first start. I think I did pretty well also. I think we did a good game. Unfortunately, we couldn't win. We're still waiting for the win. So I really hope now against New York we can do that and get the 3 points.
How is playing with because again you were brought in, it was still a 3-back or a 5-back, and there was no proper winger. Now you're playing with a proper winger, whether it's Inadi or Dante or whoever. How does that feel, and what's that relationship like now?
No, I think it's good. I'm usually before I came here, I was playing in a back four. So for me, the right back position is my optional position. So I think the relations with the wingers are really good. I think we understand each other good on the pitch. So I think we just have to keep working and improving it on every game.
Touching on that, you are right now the only natural right back at the club. There's other players that are kind of makeshift, but what is that feeling for you? And do you also have to take up that role of maybe showing people the ropes when it comes to them playing a secondary position at yours?
I mean, there's other players that can play the two. Joe Waterman played it before. I think Jalen can also play there. Alex was playing there also. So it's not only me, I think. But of course, everyone is fighting for that position to play. So everyone has to prove every day in trainings and show what they can do. And the coach is going to decide who will play.
Just one question. Why do you think you have so much difficulties to score goals? Like, you should have 13 or 14 goals, expected goals, but you have only 4. At training, the game was 0-0. Why do you have so much difficulty scoring goals?
I think it's lack of luck sometimes, because we really create chances. The expected goals are there, the expected assists are there. We just really have to have the last step, like the bit of luck, I think. And I think we're almost there. Just has to come. We really hope it's going to come now Saturday. So we're working for that. So yeah, really hope for that.
Do you think it's a psychological thing as well now? It's kind of almost self-actualizing where you guys don't get lucky and you feel bad and.
I mean, not really. I think we just don't have to think too much about it. Just push forward. Now it's the game Saturday. We just have to look positive for that and do the best what we can do.
All right. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The record's not great, but it seems like again the energy and the morale of the team is still high. What's the reason behind that?
I think we when we just look at the results, obviously there's reasons to maybe put our heads down and complain and pout about our situation. But I think when you look at the performances itself, the amount of energy we put in day out at training, I think we kind of all see where this plan, this project can go. And I think we're just focusing on that right now. Because like you said, if you just focus on the results, we can easily just, get demotivated and start complaining. And then that's just a vicious cycle to be in.
On your hand, last year, one of the worst defenses in MLS. This year, it seems like there's been a noticeable improvement on that front. What specific work has gone into, just improving your handling of opposition?
I think, it's also a collective effort. I think, now switching, maybe playing 4 at the back, it might also be in the mindset that everybody needs to contribute a bit more, especially the maybe the wingers, also the fan coming back, the wing backs coming back. I think sometimes when we played 5 at the back, we just relied on our center back sometimes to do the job a bit more. I think now that we only play with 4 at the back, everybody needs to be a bit more implicated, if I could say like that. And I think we've been pretty sharp, obviously, in our defensive third. We can be even better. But I think that the biggest difference for me is, we press high. We don't let the opponent come easily into our half, and we recuperate a lot of balls higher up the field.
You're also a bit more involved now in the build-up, at least. That added responsibility. You've been very upfront about wanting to improve, in possession. How do you feel like that's gone? And has the change of formation maybe forced you to do even more on that front?
Yeah, I think, I've always been up to challenges like that. I've been saying that I want to improve in that aspect. I think since the beginning of the year, with the other formation, it was a bit different. But now I think with the one we have right now, I'm pretty comfortable in it. Obviously, we haven't played teams that press like Red Bulls will did this weekend, so that'll be a good test for us, but also for me personally in terms of decision making. Because up to right now, I think it's, especially if you look at the past 2 games, it's been pretty good. Always tough to improve, but it's been great. So I think this weekend will be a good challenge for me.
Like you mentioned, right? You both press fairly. I mean, this year pressing high up the pitch. Red Bull have a brand, right? They do press. They love to press. How do you think that matchup's going to be, especially since you guys tend to do better in open play?
I think it's gonna be a good matchup, high intensity game. Then again, I think we have to go there with the right mentality, but we can't go in there trying to play like Red Bull. I think if we do that, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot. I think it's to find the balance in between how we want to play, how we've played the past two, 3 games, but also knowing how Red Bulls play and the fact that they're pretty dangerous with their press. So we don't want to give easy goals, easy mistakes higher up for them. So we'll just have to be very smart about how we play.
Montreal brought in a new goalkeeper from CPL, a young keeper. I mean, I'm sure you have some familiarity with somebody coming in like that. What's Gazal's mentality coming into the club, and how have you maybe connected with him?
I think you got to ask him how his mentality is. But from what I've seen, he's a guy that likes working. I've told him though that if he keeps working hard day in, day out, progress here is like inevitable. I've lived it. I've done CPL to MLS, and it's a big gap. So obviously, it's also frustrating at times. So I can feel him in that sense as well. But I truly believe that to bridge that gap, you just need to work in, day out on the field, but also off the field. Looking back again at trainings, at videos, and not being afraid of asking questions.
Joe, ça t'est-tu déjà arrivé de voir une équipe qui est supposée marquer autant de buts, tu sais, c'est 14, je pense, buts expected, puis qui en marque juste 4? Ça t'est-tu déjà arrivé d'être au cœur d'une telle séquence? Puis si oui, tu sors comment d'une séquence de même?
Écoute, non, je pense pas que j'ai déjà vu ça. Après, je pense que c'est pas la première fois, par exemple, qu'on a de la misère à marquer des buts. Je pense que c'est déjà arrivé un peu l'année passée, puis même avec Hernan, v'là 2 ans. Je pense que la solution va pas venir de moi, évidemment. Je pense que c'est d'un effort collectif, par exemple, surtout offensivement. Puis ça se joue dans les petits détails. Ça se joue des fois, ça paraît anodin, mais c'est de bien jouer le ballon dans la course du joueur au lieu de le mettre derrière. C'est juste des petites affaires comme ça perd le temps d'avance, puis ça empêche des fois le joueur de pouvoir tirer au but, la qualité de la chance. Donc, en ce moment, je pense que c'est vraiment sur ça qu'il faut se concentrer, parce que dès qu'on va marquer un but, je suis sûr que les autres vont venir, puis les victoires vont venir avec. Après, c'est moi de mon côté, s'assurer de rester solide défensivement, parce qu'on sait qu'en ce moment, notre marge d'erreur est très fine, vu qu'on marque pas beaucoup de buts. Fait que c'est de continuer à faire ça.
J'ai vu sur les réseaux sociaux supporter le Canadien là, avec Sam. Yeah. En parlez-vous? Genre, tu sais, c'est tellement gros le Canadien à Montréal. Les gars dans le vestiaire, y a-tu juste 2-3 Québécois qui en parlent ou il y a un vibe un peu canadien?
Non, Canadien, normalement, je dirais c'est pas mal que les Québécois puis quelques gens du staff. On en parle très couramment. Maintenant que les séries sont commencées, il y a les Leafs qui sont dans les séries, les Sénateurs aussi, les Oilers, il y a plusieurs équipes canadiennes. Fait que je dirais que maintenant, c'est pas une actualité de vestiaire. Là. Pas mal tout le monde se nargue. Mais c'est sûr que je pense que les Québécois, nous autres, on suit ça de beaucoup plus près. Là. On met les highlights le matin quand on rentre. Là. On check ça.
Je vais faire un lien peut-être tordu avec le hockey, là, mais tu connais la culture hockey, tu viens d'ici. Au trade deadline, on attend les transactions. Puis les équipes qui sont pas loin ou qui ont besoin d'aide, ils demandent de l'aide, puis ils attendent d'avoir des transactions. Le mercato se ferme à soir. Y a-tu ce vibe-là, genre on attend-tu de l'aide ou le vestiaire croit 100% en lui pour sortir de la crise en ce moment?
Je pense qu'on croit en nous pour sortir de la crise. Je pense que ça, c'est une évidence. On croit en notre qualité, en nos qualités pour se sortir. Puis je pense qu'on se dit aussi que ces décisions-là, c'est pas nous qui les gèrent. On n'a pas le contrôle là-dessus. Fait que je pense on dépense pas d'énergie sur ça. Bien évidemment, c'est la MLS, puis des fois, il arrive des affaires un peu folles, des échanges de dernière minute. Fait que je pense que tant que le mercato est pas fini, chaque joueur est toujours comme n'importe quoi peut m'arriver. Mais je pense qu'on croit vraiment en nos chances, puis on croit vraiment en nos qualités pour se sortir du trou un peu en ce moment.
I just want to go back quickly. on the fact that, you know, the goal scoring is a bit of an issue. You have a unique perspective. You face these guys in shots every single day, in scrimmage or in drills. What's your perspective? Is there anything you're noticing as a goalkeeper that could be contributing to the fact that, you know, again, 4 goals and, you know, more than a dozen expected?
I think right now, the most that I'm telling them is literally just to put it on target. Because right now, I think it's natural, but you start overthinking. You know, when you're not scoring goals, I think it's just natural for strikers to think more, to want to place the ball even more and like shoot harder. I think at this point, it's also just getting the basics right, putting the ball on target, forcing the keeper to make a save, and sometimes getting the rebound in. I think that's what I'm telling him right now. That's what I'm seeing, and hopefully everything just goes well Saturday.
Thanks, Joe.
Merci, Joe.
Thanks. Merci.